when you have so much money, you think that putting all at one trade is going to be a good idea, but it turned bad.
How you doing, everybody? So today we have another video of our funded trader and Mark with me on the line. It's going to be an amazing interview because there's a lot to cover, the way Mark work, and obviously the process and the time it took him to pass the evaluation. So stay tuned. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for dropping by. Tell me a little bit about your trading style and how long you've been doing it.
Okay, yes.
Trade the pool, yeah.
So I've been trading for about 3.5 years now. I started in January of 2020. So just before the big volatility because of COVID and so. So I originally started trading options, because I didn't have a lot of capital. I started with a $7,000 trading account, and I actually turned $7,000 into about $20,000 in a couple of months.
Wow!
I got some beginner's luck.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, I got a bit overconfident and lost the majority of that money.
That's
And
what usually happens, yeah.
Yes, yes. And with options, it's much more difficult because there's theta decay and so on. So then I went through all of my trades, I reviewed them, I fixed my mistakes. I saw that I was over trading too much, which was eating my account because of the commissions, because when you have a small account, the commissions also matter. And then I was looking for a way how to get more money to trade equity, to trade shares.
Yeah.
And I was looking on Google for prop firms that offer funded trading, and I stumbled upon many prop firms which offered only forex trading, which I was not so interested at the time because I was more into stocks. So I stumbled upon Trade a Pool, and I saw that I can apply for just $470 that I access $160,000 to trade with.
Okay, so let's stop you here for a second, Mark, before we continue to trade the pool. Yes. It's very interesting to me to a little bit understand about the option side. Actually, you know, you decided to go into trading, and you said because you didn't have enough capital, you went to stock options, right? It was like a daily option, so weekly.
I was trading weekly. I was also swinging options with 2-week expiration options. I was trading a lot of Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, and large cap names. I was always trading only large cap names. I wasn't really into penny stocks. I mean, I tried penny stock trading, but that was not my style. And with options, you can make a lot of money. You can make very large percent returns, which I did. But it's very risky. You can also quickly lose a lot of money because of they expire fast.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting to see a lot of young guys like you go straight to the option category because of the obviously the volatility, and you can make, like you said, 7,000 to 20, so big returns.
You see on the internet, YouTube traders and a lot of other guys posting large returns, but not posting the losses, and that gets you into it.
Exactly. This is what I wanted to add as well. You said it perfectly, because sometimes it's easier, you know, just to see the big numbers on YouTube that other guys will show you, but in most cases they won't show you their losing streak or whatever it is. And so don't fall into that. If you're watching a YouTube channel that will show you only profits, or 10 profits but one losing trade.
And oftentimes those traders make their money from selling courses and Discords and Telegrams and so on.
100%, yeah, definitely. So make sure you don't fall into that. Okay, so you decided to shift direction from option to basically trade equity, stocks, shares, and like you said, there are a lot of forex trading prop firms out there today. There are so many. And we are actually,
but there's almost no stock trading platforms.
exactly, we are actually, we are the only one that offering that specific type of trading with
Yes, yes.
1,000 symbols and all the
I
capital.
searched a lot of time to find you. For like a few weeks, I was constantly searching if there's a stock trading platform.
Yeah, I mean, there is no market. We actually, it's funny because in most cases, when you have a market, when you have an industry, then it's easier on Google search or whatever it is. But in our case, because we are the only one, it takes a little bit time to find us actually. Interesting.
Yes, yes.
So let's talk a little bit about your trading during, even before that or doing that. What is the process? How do you find the stock that you want to trade? What is your style? What actually are you looking for?
So I'm usually trading the same names over and over again all the time. Those names are Nvidia, Tesla, Meta, Apple, Microsoft, those large caps, and also mid caps such as Roku, Affirm, Zoom, Palantir, and so on. I always draw support and resistance lines on a daily chart, on a 1 hourly chart, 15-minute chart, and 5-minute chart. Okay. And then I trade breakouts or bounces of those key levels. I also trade pre-market high or pre-market low breakouts. I set alerts before the market opens and write a game plan. How many shares will I buy? Where will I put my profit target, stop loss? And I always look for at least 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So I'm risking maybe $200 to make $400 per trade. Yeah, and I focus mostly on a 5-minute and a 15-minute chart because 1 minute is too many takeouts. And I'm not so much a scalper. I'm more of a day trader who holds positions for about 10 minutes to a couple of hours, maybe.
Nice. And now that we offer also swing trading, overnight position, do you use that as well, or you only do?
No, I think I did one trade because I forgot to close or something, but I didn't use that.
Okay.
Mostly I day traded.
Nice. So I'll share my screen and show your chart and everything, and really the process and what's we talked about it just before the recording. It's actually super amazing to see because what you did took you some time to reach that goal. Yes. There is so much to learn from your chart. So guys at home, if you're watching it, in most cases, not most cases, but a lot of the traders that we, got funded through us actually passed the evaluation within 7 days or 14 days or 30 days, 45 days. But Mark did it within 6 months, right?
Yeah, 6 to 7 months.
6 to 7 months. He started.
I extended it like 6 times, I think. 5 or 6 times.
That's amazing to see. The first trade that you made was December 19, and today we're recording it at middle of July.
So 7 months.
Yeah, so 7 months. Basically, what you did, what Mark did, for those of you who are not familiar with, is just renew his account every month, and he kept the process. So you don't start from the beginning, from zero. You actually keep the process that you did for that month and then extend it.
Yes.
And let's talk a little bit about before we'll dive into the trading. Let's talk a little bit about it in terms of money-wise, right? Because you did pay for the evaluation. How much you paid for 1 month?
$470, I think.
Okay, so $475.
I paid like 6 times, yeah.
Yeah, so $475, multiply it by 6, so that's around what, like 3,000, right?
Yes, combined,
about that. So you paid 3,000, but look how amazing it is, because even if you put $3,000, instead of taking that 3,000 and put it in your broker account, you actually, it's much better, like it's a no-brainer to put it.
Because now I have access to $160,000.
Exactly.
And I can make larger profits and faster.
Exactly. So that's amazing that you understood that. But let's talk a little bit about your trading, because it's very interesting to see the chart. You started with a drawdown. Actually, you went all the way to 3,000, right?
I almost got stopped out at one point because when I started with trade the pool, I have never traded with so much money, with $160,000. And the first mistakes I did was I put too much money into one trade, because when you have so much money, you think that putting all at one trade is going to be a good idea, but it turned bad.
That's super important lesson, Mark. And for those of you guys that watching it, because you have a lot of money, sometimes you get a lot of money, it's gonna dazzle you, and you can easily start playing with big numbers. And like Mark just mentioned, you can
it can go the other way as well.
Yeah.
So then I discovered that the perfect position size for me was about 30 to 50,000, not 100 plus thousand like I was using at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because the first few weeks I was losing a lot of money because I was using way too much capital. And then I slowly grinded back up into the profit land. And actually, I was very close to reaching my profit goal for like 3 or 4 times. And then, yes, I went like to 7,000 like 3 times. And then I went on some losing streaks. Because when you're very close to that goal, you start making stupid mistakes. You oversize because you think it's right there. And then you went on a losing streak. And then you have to make it back.
So this is amazing to see, guys. Your chart look like a stock chart, like a company, right? And it's super interesting.
So many days.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that point when you almost reached that top.
Yes.
Basically, Mark needed to make 7,800 in order to pass. And as you can see on the P&L, you reached that 7,000, even a little bit more, like 7,500, just 200.
300 less, yes.
Yeah, that's insane. It's what we refer to, or in psychology, they refer to fear of success. So once reaching that moment, that peak, when you actually want to grab it, then you start a lot of mistakes.
Once you're so close, you're not really thinking about the training, but you're thinking more about achieving that goal. And that's the mistake I did. Instead of going slowly and just trying to make, I don't know, in a couple of days, $100 per day, I went with some size in one trade and lost a lot of money, because I thought I just need to do one good trade and one bigger trade and make it. And then I lost, I went back again, and I lost again. Then I went on a losing streak, and then I slowly climbed back up.
So let's talk a little bit about this process. What got you to the upside again?
Yes, I started, I sized down a little bit, and I rethought my trades more, because when I was so close, and then I started to go on a losing streak, I tilted a little bit. I started a little bit oversizing and revenge trading, because I was so close, and then I lost like 2,000-3,000 from the top, and I made the wrong decisions, and then I refocused and went back on the track.
So it's very hard to get to that point when you're almost at the top, almost reaching that. Mentally, tell us a little bit about it, about the experience, mentally wise.
Yeah, mentally it was at times pretty frustrating, but I keep believing. I thought I was never going to give up. I was going to try it. I was going to extend it if I needed 5 more times the evaluation process, because I believe I can reach it, because I knew that I can slowly grow the account to the profit target.
Really amazing to see the process that you did, and the effort that you put in, and also the fact that you didn't give up. Sometimes in trading, especially, you started right from the get-go, you went to the negative side. And especially in trading, that could lead to a lot of frustration. And in your case, you took that like a winner and went all the way to the top. So that's incredible to see. Really enjoy it. And also, one thing that I looked at as well in your trading is that you're not going like big sizes, as you mentioned as well. I saw a lot of our founder traders and also guys that trying to pass the evaluation. They would start trading, no matter if it's penny stocks or not, they will start trading with like 5,000 shares, or if it's penny stocks, 4,000 shares and stuff like that.
I actually like to scale into my positions. I don't go all at once. I average like 3 times into my positions. So I get a better entry price, and depends also how the trade goes. If I go straight in the big profit, I usually just scale out slowly. But if I get a little bit better entry, then I enter with more shares.
Amazing. That's exactly, in my opinion, exactly the way it should be done. So let's talk a little bit about TradePool in that case. How did you like the evaluation? You've been in it for 6-7 months. What do you think about the process?
Yes, I loved it. I like the fact that you get stopped out at the $1,300 daily stop, and you can lose 3,900. So the platform prevents you from losing all the chance in one day. And I also divided that daily stop into like 3 chunks, so I didn't lose everything on one trade. For example, I had a maximum loss per trade like $400, so I could lose like 3 times. So one bad trade didn't wipe me out. And the platform, I feel like it improved with time, and I loved it.
Okay, amazing. Did you have a chance to use one of our partners' software as well? Trade Ideas, TrendSpider, Bookmap?
I did, yes, for additional charts. I did use it.
Okay. Which one?
Because it was free. I think it was TradeSpider.
TrendSpider. Nice. Great. So before we'll finish this interview, anything you can add to the guys that sitting at home on the fence, doesn't know if it's good for them, or if they want to join, or maybe guys that trade in the evaluation and having some difficulties? Anything you can share or give them like a big tip?
I believe TradePool is the perfect fit for them, because for just $470 you can get access to $160,000. And if you never give up, you can reach that point pretty easily. Just divide the profit goal with time, and each day you make a couple $100 and you will get it.
Amazing. That's great to see. All righty, Mark. I wish you all success.
Okay, thank you.
Hopefully you will get the first check coming soon.
Me too. Thank you very much.